Hello and welcome everybody. In this video we'll show you 15 signs you have a genius level of intelligence. Everyone craves intelligence. Like anything of perceived value, we want it. Of all our personality traits, intelligence is the most admired and useful tool available. If you want to know whether you have a genius level of intelligence, then this video is for you. Keep watching the whole video and don't skip any important part of it. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to receive all our news. 1. You are empathetic and compassionate. People with a lower IQ often care only about their own feelings and aren't able to connect to others' needs. It often has to do with the ability to empathize, projecting yourself into someone else's experience and understanding it. Empathizing is essential for harmonious relationships. Less intelligent people have a hard time recognizing their own opinion, so they just try to convince others to agree with them. They also don't usually notice if a person they are talking to is actually cleverer than they are. Researchers at Texas Tech University showed in a representative study that smarter people were more able to recognize the feeling of others. Those study participants also tended to be more willing to do something good for another person without expecting anything in return. Obviously, intelligent people aren't a bunch of yes men, but they have learned it, perhaps from earliest childhood, that it's safe to open up their sense to others, feel empathy, and offer help. 2. You talk to yourself. Before you assume those who talk to themselves have lost their marbles, reevaluate the cause. Surprisingly, the act of talking to oneself is a trait that geniuses have. Speaking out loud signifies a working mind, one that is trying to sort through all the innovative thoughts, creative ideas, and differing strategies to inspire creation and design. It's okay to be vocal, let your thoughts lead you to greater heights and high-powered thinking. 3. You realize how much you still don't know. The smarter a person is, the more he doubts his cognitive abilities. In other words, smart people are not afraid of saying I don't know. If they don't know something, they can find out something new. That's why if you have always questions popping up in your head and you are not afraid to ask them, then you are probably smarter than a lot of other people. 4. Smart people admit to mistakes. Smart people have learned to admit to their own mistakes and take responsibility for their conduct. They don't see mistakes as something bad necessarily, but often as a chance to learn and grow. Another study of University of Michigan showed that clever people's brain react differently to mistakes than those of the less apt. 5. You are good at self-control. Smart people are able to manage impulsivity and they are good at suppressing emotions. They also think of the consequence before they start doing something. One famous psychological study, the respondents were asked to choose in between two options: to get less money immediately or to get more money throughout the year. The results showed that the respondents who chose more money but later, in other words, those who had more self-control, got more points in different tests and achieved more success in the future. 6. You are a chronic warrior. While many endeavors of geniuses lead to remarkable results, it doesn't always come worry-free. In fact, a common trait that geniuses have is a tendency to overthink things and worry. Incessantly, if you find yourself second-guessing yourself during a creation process, perhaps going back and forth between different ideas and strategies, you might be struggling with a shared obstacle among those with higher intelligence. Likewise, geniuses have shorter attention spans as they bounce between multiple projects and concepts. Their genius thinking is often more lateral, breaching many topics than vertical, focused on one specific topic. 7. Smart people stay cool. A fight with your partner, an interminable traffic jam, or a last-minute consolation, there are a lot of things that can trigger frustration or anger. Smart people do lose their cool and give vent to their spleen sometimes, but less often than people with a lower IQ. They have more self-control. This is what a long-term study showed from the University of Michigan, analyzing 600 participants, their children and parents for 22 years. Researchers want to know whether there was a connection between aggressive behavior and the low intelligence quotient. The result of the study revealed that children learn very early to react to conflict situations with anger and aggression. Growing up in a combative, aggressive environment impedes brain development. 8. You stay up late and get little sleep. If your body is too fired up at night to get into your sleep hours and it's not due to a nightly espresso, it might be a sign that you are a genius. Geniuses feel more creative at night and are often too weird to turn their brain off and power down. They can also run on a very little sleep and still find enough energy in the day to channel their ideas and creations. 9. You value daydreaming. If you set aside time to daydream or use higher observational skills to decode your dreams, it represents an introspective quality that all geniuses have. Oftentimes these dreams unlock secrets, inspirational thoughts, and intuitive ideas. The latter being important as it's hard for geniuses to trust their intuitions and not flip back and forth between differing approaches. If you find yourself searching for deeper meaning in your dreams, it might be a sign that you are a creative genius. 10. Emotionally intelligent arguments. While you can effectively argue about any subject, you know when to push and when to back off. You don't stand there screaming and berating your opinion. You don't make things personal or try to tear them to pieces. Extremely intelligent people understand even amid an argument about how to be sensitive and respectful. Imagine you are caught in a debate with a friend. You might have all the tools to prove them wrong, but you realize this issue means more to them than it does to you. So instead of ruining your friendship, you get your point across without making your friend feel attacked or ignore it. Knowing when to pull your punches is a rare and valuable skill. So if that's something you do regularly, you might have a genius level intelligence. 11. Twisted sense of humor. Do people tell that your jokes are weird or offensive? It turns out a twisted sense of humor is a reliable sign of high intelligence. This was discovered by a study at the University of Vienna. First, researchers had participants listen to a few different kinds of jokes. Some were mild puns, others were gross and way over the line. Participants rated each joke on how funny it was, which gave researchers a glimpse into their general sense of humor. After that, researchers needed to test their brain power. Now, if their hypotheses were right, people who enjoyed the most offensive jokes would also have the highest IQs. So they scored each participant's intelligence using a series of verbal and non-verbal intelligence tests. Just like they predicted, people with twisted sense of humor scored significantly higher. So if your jokes don't usually sit well with people, I've got some good news. Your intelligence might be through the roof. 12. The big questions. Do you spend hours thinking about the way it works or how the universe came into being? Do you challenge these big questions regularly? If you do, you are probably more intelligent than you realize. People with a genius level intellect enjoy the confusion and uncertainty of these impossible questions. They want to know the answers, but they don't want someone to tell them what to believe. Highly intelligent people like you want to figure it out for themselves. 13. Debating anything. If you have a genius level intellect, you can argue about anything, because you can draw all kinds of logical conclusions from that small piece of data. Intelligent people are such potent debaters because their mind adapts and makes connection at lightning speed. If you can argue anything, you are a creative and flexible problem solver, and more importantly, you aren't afraid to make a point and stick to it. 14. You are curious. According to a study from Goldsmith University in London, people who invest their time and effort in their intellect can help in the overall cognitive growth. Ordinary people seek entertainment, extraordinary people seek education and learning. 15. You adapt easily. Being adaptable means having the intelligence and awareness to see things from a fresh perspective. Adaptation requires other cognitive processes too, such as reasoning, perception, problem solving, and memory. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to receive all our news. If you learned something new today, then give the video a like and tell us in comments which step you like it more. And here's some others great videos I think you will enjoy. Just click on the left or on the right.